Welcome to Gaikoku Gamers. I'm Darryl Benson, and this is another bite-sized episode. And I don't really actually have anything specific to talk about as far as like an episode to review something or anything, but I just kind of wanted to go over a few things as to what's been going on recently in my world, and especially the gaming world. First off, the first thing that is not gaming related, I ended up getting a new job, which is why it's been a few days since my last video, and I apologize. I saw somebody went ahead and decided to unsubscribe. Apparently, my stuff is so good that when it's not around, it needs to be left alone to drown. But whatever. Anywho, but seriously, for the rest of you other 44 subscribers, I would like to say thank you for sticking around, although it's not really been that long. But anywho, yeah, starting a new job. It's a huge promotion, and I'm really happy. First day went great. I passed the test, you know, so to speak. I impressed them. Everybody's happy, and I gotta say, I'm happy too. And it's gonna be taking a little bit more of my time, but you know what? It's better for me. It's better for my family, and that's all that's really important in this world, isn't it? So going to gaming, life has been pretty busy there too. I ended up finding a Sega CD Model 2 along with a Genesis Model 2 and the tray that it sits on with the heatsink and the whole 9 yards, 2 power adapters and everything. For a really cheap price, it was only like $70. All said and done, which is incredibly cheap, especially since the CD portion alone can go for that much or more. So I jumped on it. You know, I've been missing some Sega CD games, and I really wanted it, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. It's my little treat to myself for getting a new job and for being me. Yeah. But no, but seriously, It really was great having it for like 5 seconds. Yeah, so it turns out that the guy who tested it, I swear, promise, didn't. There's no way he did. There's graphics problems. The color would go from beautiful to, it almost looked like it was half resolution. It looked like someone put Vaseline over the screen, and it looked horrible. And then it would go to like it was oversaturated, like half color, and then all of a sudden black and white, and then a black screen. And jiggling the back wire would help sometimes, but not all the time. And basically, I think the motherboard on the Genesis 2 was going out, or the solder was was cracked, and it was disconnecting. That port for the AV was disconnecting from the main board, which is a problem with older consoles, especially ones from NEC. So be careful about controller ports and power ports and AV ports and all that, like from NEC consoles, as they're starting to get old too. But any CD technology from this time period is pretty much shit as far as build construction goes, and Sega CD fares no better. And in addition to the graphics problems, the video problems, I had the lovely grinding gears of death noise that I got to listen to. I went ahead and opened it up, and I decided to put some lithium grease on the gears. And it made it a little bit better, but there's still something wrong. I think the laser needed repotted. It wouldn't always access, and it was just kind of a bummer. And the discs were in great condition, and I know it wasn't those. On top of that, if there weren't enough problems already, the rechargeable battery was dead. Now you're probably thinking, oh, whatever, it's like a Sega Saturn, right? You just open up the back door, plop open the battery, put one in, away, here we go. No, it's not that simple. In fact, it's incredibly difficult. And what you need to end up doing is desoldering the battery from the motherboard and replacing it that way. You can replace it with one that is of higher quality or rechargeable, but basically the battery that's in there is well, crap. So it was 3 major repairs, and I know I got it for a good price, and I wasn't trying to be too picky, but at the same time I really do feel like I paid the money that he was asking for, so whether I got a good deal or not is irrelevant. I wasn't screwing him over. He claimed he tested it, he didn't. There are 3 things wrong with it, and I don't know about you guys, but those problems are too much for me, especially when the battery is dead. You can't play certain games like Sonic CD because it just gives you a little Robotnik error. It basically says please format your RAM. And you can't format your RAM if the battery is dead, so there's only so much of that you're going to be playing. So anyway, I did get to play a little bit of Sonic while that battery is working over the course of 2 days before it died. But I just want to go ahead and show you first off, since gotta show you something here. I ended up getting Sonic 1 in box. It's the it's the not for resale version, which probably is more common than the real one. I of course got the coveted Sonic CD, which has to be one of the best Sonic games ever. I'm not just saying that because everybody else says it. I genuinely got into this game, so much so that when my Sega CD died, I went ahead and plopped this game CD into my original Xbox, which is modded to play Sega CD games, the actual Sega CD games. And I had a good time, and it was a great time, and it looks great. Even on an HD TV, this game looks great even today, which is pretty impressive. This is a pretty rare game, and it's hysterical. It's not very fun, but it's very funny to watch all the cutscenes. It's Star Wars Chess by the software Toolworks company. Not the best chess game in the world, but the animations are to die for. And it's a mature rated Star Wars game, so you can already kind of imagine how bad the animations are. And I don't mean cheesy, I mean like, this should not have been done to Star Wars characters, let's just put it that way. Next one up is Sylphid, the great 3D shooter that actually uses an FMV in the background to make it look like it's producing more polygons than it actually is. It's a really cool effect because if you really don't know any better, then it actually makes it look like this thing's pumping out a pretty complex looking game, even though it's not. It's not like most FMV shooters where it looks very fake. This looks legit because they did the FMV background graphics in the same graphics that the ships are in the foreground, so it all looks like it goes together. And then of course the first, but in my personal opinion the best, Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat, with arcade quality sound, albeit in mono, which I don't really quite understand. The graphics are not arcade graphics either, which kind of sucks, but there are more frames of animation. The sound does technically sound better, albeit in mono, and it's just a fun time. So those are the Sega CD games I bought, and if you're thinking that's it, then that's not. The second thing I'd like to share, third thing, if you're counting, is the Virtual Boy controller that I had modded. It was not working properly because the guy used too thin wire and the signals were getting mixed up between the two D-pads. He has fixed that with a thicker wire, thicker gauge wire, and now Robotron 2084 works perfectly on the Atari XEGS, and I couldn't be happier. So thank you, guy who did that, person. Thank you. Anyway, the third and not the least thing, and I can't show it to you because it's too big and it's over there, and I'm going to be doing a separate video, so it doesn't really matter anyway, is the fact that I got a Commodore SX-64. Yes, I got the executive model, the luggable. Kind of looks like a gigantic silver and blue and gray suitcase Commodore 64 that has the built-in floppy drive, the actual floppies, not the little hard floppies. This is the 5-inch floppies, you know, the big ones that you could actually bend and flop. And I got a whole bunch of software for it. I got Pac-Man, a whole bunch of cool games from Capcom and Sega. There's like Outrun and a bunch of other games. So anyway, a whole stack of them. I really can't even remember all the ones I got. They play great. They look great. The SX-64 is in fantastic condition. The keyboard is in great shape. The main body is in great shape. And the monitor, which is the most important part, looks brand new. Couldn't be happier. The disk drive works great too. And those are all things that technically go wrong with this computer. So the fact that everything's running like it should, all the original cables, no excessive damage, pretty good. And I can't wait to show it to you, in fact. And it's a great system. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who will claim that Atari 8-bit is better, maybe graphically. I'll give them that. Maybe. Slightly. But frankly, there's a lot more games on the Commodore. And given that whole rivalry is over and done with, how about you just go buy both, like I did, and enjoy the games from both. And in fact, Atari Soft went ahead and released many of the games that were on the Atari XE for that computer, and that includes Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Battlezone, Defender, Return of Defender wasn't on Atari, so haha. A whole bunch of good games, even some Vector ones, like I just said, like Battlezone, look pretty good. Definitely recommend picking it up, especially since that if you're like me, you can go ahead and, if you're interested, spend about $65 and get an SD card reader that looks like a little Commodore floppy drive, which is really cute. Plug it into the back and load every single Commodore ROM to the back of it. Now, I don't actually have the unit in yet, which is why I'm postponing my review of the Commodore SX-64. Technically, I guess I could do it now, but I really want to show that thing off. I think it's a really worthy investment, especially since floppies are pretty hard to come by, at least legit copies that were not burned by random people. Although some of the instruction booklets I got for some of them were pretty funny. In particular, one for Buck Rogers says, "Please do not use the game disc that it comes with. Please copy this, make yourself a copy, and never use the real copy ever again." Yes, there was a point in time where video game companies urged you to pirate your own software by making a legal copy. I miss those days, I really do. Anywho, so that's my news. Plenty of news, really. So Commodore SX-64 review is coming your way shortly. We have the Virtual Boy controller fixed for the Atari XE GS, which means that that review for that controller will be up shortly. And the last bit of news. And I know I said that the last bit of news was the last bit of news, but I just kind of remembered. So you're probably wondering, well, Darryl, what are you going to do with these awesome Sega CD games? And this cartridge. How are you going to play all your Sega CD games since you don't have a console anymore? What are you going to do? And that is where good fortune, good luck, and perfect timing came in, for I have found an XI. Yes, if you're not familiar with the XI, it is a combo system, much akin to what Sharp was doing with the Famicom back in the day, with the disk drive and the cartridge slot all in one big box. It's the same idea. It's a Sega CD, it's a Sega Genesis, and one machine. They made the Wonder Mega in other territories, but we got the XI. It's not as cool looking as a Wonder Mega, but then again, it's also like $500 cheaper, so go figure. The XI looks amazing. There's a whole slew of features I can't wait to go over it with you guys. I got it for a steal of a price, plus more Sega CD games. Yes. Oh, and well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you any more about the XI. We'll leave that to review. Let's just put it this way. It's a lot more convenient of a system to own, and providing you can find one that works properly, you're in for a treat. And hopefully I'm in for a treat, and hopefully I didn't get screwed over again. Either way, this has been another bite-sized episode. We really appreciate you guys for going ahead and sticking it through with us here at Gaikoku Gamers. Mike should be doing some stuff here soon, hopefully. Mike? You're falling asleep again, Mike. Oh, Mike. No, but seriously, we really do appreciate you guys' support. Please feel free to comment. Let us know maybe what you want us to review. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and rate. You know, give us the big old thumbs up for doing a good job. We really hope that you've been enjoying our videos, and we hope to keep on doing plenty more in the future. Until then, I'm Darryl Benson, and we shall see you guys next time.